Hey peeps, Pinkolol16 here, and another commentary of my own to another video of my own to commentate over. Excuse me. This is part 3 of the custom Invincibility frames, which is basically the ending of Arc 1. Again, the arcs aren't of equal length, which is basically a flaw, but the arcs are basically kind of trying to detail the worlds that they're in. The arc isn't necessarily supposed to be some kind of... It's supposed to be segmentation, but where they are, essentially. So, it's really weird. In fact, the arcs in the end are just like one part arcs, which is weird, but hey, it's where they are, so. And again, we're gonna play the intro because it was supposed to be an intro for Arc 1. And the intro was supposed to show where they are, what's gonna happen in this particular arc, and what they're gonna do. So this is basically the introduction of Arc 1. So this is supposed to indicate, like, oh, how characters get trapped. However, what happens in the intros is not supposed to be the most accurate representation of what happens ever. So Akin doesn't get trapped, Jinder does, but Akin doesn't. So... Also, I'm a massive fan of musically synced stuff, so in the beginning it was mostly musically synced stuff where there was mostly pointless. So I didn't want to just run through every level sped up and just get the thing. I wanted to have some fancy music video to go along with it, so here's my rendition of Green Hill Zone. Also, these are some randoms trapped in the levels. They're color codes I randomly made up. Any references to any actual other color codes other people have is purely coincidental because these are just random color codes I made up on the spot from some random days. Yeah, remember him? He was from a long time ago. And Jinder finally decides to come out of his shell now. This was also during the phase in which I was too scared to use remixes in videos, so I would mostly use the original renditions of songs. Failed me here because the version I would have wanted to use here was much better. So yes, Jinder actually collected the one in Hazy Maze Cave on his own. Thematically fitting since he's purple and the area is all kind of greeny purplish. Also, this ties into where Garrison left off in part 1. Again, this also ties into the fact that the characters didn't just walk randomly into the castle and go through the painting to go to the level. They came in through some other external method, and he did this to try and find someone to find help. But the thing is, he didn't know he was going to get trapped. Which was Garrison getting trapped, I meant. It's not supposed to be the star, but it's meant to be, like, below it, because where the star is much higher than the star arena, which is where the energy's actually seeping out of. I'm trying to clear up the script line, which I massively failed on in part 1. If you're unaware, in part 1 I scripted his original line, "I must find my friend," which was the worst scripting I've ever had to do, because he had no relation to anybody. He was just trying to find somebody, but not intentionally Jinder, because he'd abandoned him for a bit after incidences that happened with Jinder in his backstory, which I'll touch upon later. More music video! This time with a different song! And this one's horribly synced. More color codes I randomly made. In fact, the last two were because I asked some guys, what are your 4 favorite colors? And I made them into color codes. They never knew what it actually was, what it actually meant. Yep, this is about the robots I said in part 2. Oh yeah, we're gonna send robots after you. That was the worst idea I've ever had. Yeah, it's because Bowser, I thought Bowser looked like a robot with the whole mouth thing going on. Jeez, the model is so terrible. And it wouldn't have worked if I did it like Super Mario 64 DS style. So I thought, hey, let's make them robots and let's incorporate them into the series, and then I just abandoned it because the story would be better if I didn't incorporate this. So you're gonna see a fight scene, like the Bowser scene for like 2 seconds. I don't like incorporating gameplay footage into script, but hey, I did this, so haha. Although the nice thing I did is I sped the scene up. Because, of course, I knew gameplay footage was just the most stupidest thing. The scene would be 3 minutes long otherwise. Although Sony Vegas' sped up thing is not the best thing. Okay, so it's mostly very terrible. Because once you speed it up so much, sometimes it won't go any further. You can't speed it up as much as you want. It will just speed up to, or slow down to a certain bit, and then you can't speed up / slow down anymore. And again, I'm playing this with keyboard, so trying to imitate a rotating analog stick on a keyboard with arrow keys is not the best thing in the world, honestly. I mean, I know how to do it in Super Mario 64 DS, but the actual version itself is terrible. And it's not designed for it, so... I mean, the whole point... When we control it, it's set to a certain standard, so it's set to like 100 the whole time. So imagine the controller, you'd be pushing it the full way the whole time, which yeah, it's not designed for it. It's not designed for machinima, but we do it anyway. And I didn't try to incorporate too much script to the point where, oh yeah, we're going back and forth. I just imagined a back and forth happening just on its own. So it's just sped up. In fact, I'm probably gonna skip past all this crud. Because there's nothing of worth here. You're just gonna see fight scene. In fact, you're seeing Blue fights another one and finishes it off. And, well, this bit's important, so, yeah. This bit's supposed to be a joke. Oh yeah, I really like Sonic Colors' Boss 1's theme, so I wanted to incorporate into the... I wanted to try and put, like, hey, let's put all the boss themes in there. It only worked for the, like part 3, that was it. It was a game shortcode I had, and I really wanted to use it in a machinima, so I was like, hey, let's incorporate this into the series, and I did it. I haven't played Paper Mario, by the way. Now that's just me fiddling on the keyboard because, hey, this is the funniest thing ever. Yeah, I really wanted to end that one quicker. Why didn't I do it for the other ones? Because it doesn't work for the other ones. It only works because for some reason this fight has different programming or something like that. Now, Vindimka here, I actually had to rip the footage from this particular video for part 16. This bit here is a phony. He's not actually saying, "Oh no, my plan's actually ruined." He's actually saying it he's actually saying it sarcastically. "Oh no, I've been defeated," because that's the whole point. See, I comment on it saying that was quick because it's only been 3 parts. But, of course, that's not really true. Also, I really wanted the whole arena to say it, but for some reason this happened. I don't like it. But he likes me being a fool. He uses it to taunt because he knows it's the only thing that'll keep us going. They can all be affected by the energy. And he's already collected the energy that we got from freeing everybody, all of the cruddy color codes. Who have no names. He teleported himself, by the way. That just happened off screen because, hey, angling! He said he was going to affect a dimension other than this one, so where else other than the Star World? He can't go to the Star Road for some reason. He wouldn't be able to go to the Star Road through that method, so he went to the Star World. And in the 4th dimension, he can't go there yet. Akin's not gonna come because it's a special instance. So that's the end of Arc 1. See you all, have a good day, peace, and I'll see you when we commentate over Part 4, which is the beginning of the Star World one.